Now this is a Sunday and it is one of the days that I'm on the rooftop and looking over the area right here in Nairobi. So how you doing? Are you new to my channel? Have you subscribed yet? Or you're waiting for a bell? So thank you for being on this page. The sun is right out on my face, hitting my face so nice. Absorb, absorb, absorb. This is so beautiful. Now on the rooftop, getting all the sunshine on my black face and absorbing all the energies. Thank you for subscribing. And this is what it looks like right down there, all the way up behind there. Okay, I'm just going to show you some other parts, but I hope you're okay. Now we have talked of so many things right here in Kenya, in Nairobi. I believe it's a good place. Let me try to open my eyes a little bit wide. I am directly facing the sun. Ooh, those who know, don't you just like this? Yeah, Nairobi has given me a good experience from many things. My perspective has been in so many ways. I have experienced so much from the touring part of it, from the side of travel, from the side of usually day-to-day life, accommodation. I think it has been friendly, and give it or take, what I think, if I am to compare those two countries, Uganda and Nairobi, or sorry, Uganda and Kenya, of course there are some places where one would beat the other and one would definitely not beat the other. So I think in my perspective, I should give some of these. Now, when it comes to accommodation, when it comes to rentals, I've gone to some of the places and I've realized that in Kenya, some of the accommodation is way cheaper than when it's in Uganda. There are places you can find 20% cheaper in terms of accommodation, be it 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and there are also places that you can find for much less than even 30% in comparison to Uganda. So yes, in accommodation, Kenya is a tick, it is beaten it. Now let's talk about the prices of trading items. By trading items, that's a wide range, a wide variety of things that we're talking about. You know, when you go downtowns to places that have so many shops and dealerships of so many items, from textiles, from clothes, from designer bags, designer, all these items, general business, you know, trade. We're talking trade. Now Kenya has a sea coastline that enables shipping containers or vessels to land in Mombasa, okay, and from Mombasa it has already arrived. It comes inland and goods are circulated within the economy and the market. This is much different when it comes to Uganda, because once goods come to Mombasa, they will have to be shipped by road, moved by road, or trucked all the way to Kampala. So now that's where the difference is. Of course, there is a trickle down effect, which means it increases the prices of almost everything by around 20%. Okay, that's not a small percentage when it comes to price, because when you add the taxes, you will find that some of the items are 50% more than when you buy in Uganda. So these are some of the things that you will find a difference. So if you're a trader, then you know that you might get much more cheaper goods in Kenya than you might buy in Uganda for resale. What else do we go to? We go to daily groceries and foods. There is no way Kenya is beating Uganda in that area, because there is abundance of food, and pineapples, things like vegetables, things like that can be easily got and so cheap, and the comparisons are not even close to what you can find in Kenya. And plus we're talking variety as well. Uganda beats in that area super high. What else do we go to? Let's go to the travel and the roads. Now, if you know that you're going to these two places in these two countries you want to compare, Things to do with roads, Kenya aces it way much, way much. Although Uganda is now putting up some of the structures that seems to be flyovers, some projects are coming on, but still it isn't compared to the massive infrastructure that is already well laid out in Kenya. What else do we talk about? We talk about jobs. Now, the fact that so many other countries have Kenya as their places and their hubs for, I should say, for regional offices and so many regional offices and operating centers. I believe that Kenya has a vast majority of, Kenya beats Uganda in terms of availability of jobs. Even then, these countries face their own unemployment levels, but if you're to compare, the opportunities are way much more here than you might find in Uganda. And so many other countries have moved their regional bases to Kenya, so that means the job industry also has increased. Now, there are also other challenges when it comes to finance and currencies. I know that in terms of stability of the economies, in terms of the exchange rate, Kenya has gotten a hit while Uganda beats it in terms of stability. I mean, for Uganda's inflation rate is about 3%. That can be confirmed. And for Kenya, it has been fluctuating way much, and it has been affecting the prices of goods in the country, and so many challenges are going on. So in that regard, in terms of stability of prices, Uganda beats it. All right, what else do we go to? We go to schools and education. Now, there are so many international schools in Kenya than there would be in Uganda, so that gives it a plus when it comes to schools and education. Whereas Uganda also has a variety of learning centers and learning institutes, we find so many Kenyans have studied and have gone for studies in Uganda and then come back to Kenya and continue their life. So that, I don't really think I will comment so much in that. Well, so we go to something else. Nightlife, maybe? Nightlife is almost at a 50-50 or at a draw. Although we find that the partying in Kenya is, it's quite intense, Now that I will not so much. I'll have you guys in the comment section tell me what you think about it. Although when I say the types of handling of alcohol and liquors, Kenya beats it. I mean, guys are superb in their drinking. You guys, Kenyans are so superb in your drinking. I think in that area you take that to another level. Well, I stand to be challenged and all that. Okay, so what else do we go to? Tourism and places of tourism. Of course, the massive scale of tourism that leaves a lot to be, said. It's a high, massive scale of tourism. The number of tourists that hit Kenya is much more than the number of tourists that hit Uganda. When I come to places, they're always unique, because some people would argue and say, if I have seen the lions in Uganda, if I have seen the lions and the elephants in Kenya, what would the difference be if I go to Uganda? Or if the elephants in Kenya as well, giraffes in Kenya as well, why would I need to go to Uganda? So some of these things can be arguments, but I still think that you have to have a feel of both to be able to decide what wins your heart. What wins your heart. Of course, flora and fauna is much different in Uganda. It is much darker. The thickness is much more. The hills are much more in Uganda. The terrain is raised. The red soils are almost everywhere. Than in Kenya, you might find some places that have gray soils, gray areas, but rarely you will find that in Uganda. Then there will be also the different types of elephants. Of course, you will find maybe the real huge tusked elephants are in Uganda, and you will find that the places are quite different in that regard, but all of it goes down to experience. What else do I have to talk about? Maybe you can tell me, you can hint what you think I have found my experience in Kenya versus the experience in Uganda is. You might just want to tell me on the comment section below. So I hope you liked it, and we will continue to speak on another time. So I'll catch you on another vlog. Cheers and bye.